When you're looking for vintage lenses on eBay, secondhand stores, garage sales, thrift stores, you'll often see similar looking lenses with different brands. Although there are dozens of different brands, really there's only a handful of lens manufacturers. When you see Albenar, Phoenix, Quantoray, Vivitar, Soligar, these lenses are all lenses that are manufactured by a core group of optics firms and then rebranded. It's oftentimes difficult to determine which manufacturer made a specific lens, but sometimes it's easy. There are very few Korean optical companies that make lenses for third-party distribution, and most all of the vintage third-party lenses you'll see that were manufactured in Korea were made by a company named Samyang. Now, back in 1972, Samyang was founded in South Korea. The company is still in business and they still manufacture camera lenses for DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. You can buy Samyang lenses for Sony, Nikon, Canon cameras. They're not really a large firm. They have approximately $30 million in revenue and fewer than 150 employees. But back in 1972, to get their foothold in international markets, Samyang began selling a limited portfolio of lenses to third-party redistributors. And you'll see Samyang lenses marketed under the names Phoenix, Albenar, Vivitar, Quantoray, and Rokinon. They also marketed a few lenses under their own name. Now there are three vintage lenses manufactured by Samyang that are very common. The 28mm f2.8 close focus lens, the 135 f2.8 portrait lens, and the 80-200 f3.9 zoom. Now, it's not a surprise that these standard lenses are what Samyang began their production with. They're common lenses that most all photographers use. Samyang offered these under a wide array of camera mounts, including Canon, Olympus, Nikon, Pentax, traditional M42 mounts. So they really hit the market with all different camera mounts. They also manufactured a 500mm f8 mirror lens. I most often see this lens marketed under the Phoenix Samyang brand. It usually came with a traditional threaded T-mount, so it was easy to configure this lens to various camera lens mounting systems that were out there. I looked at all four of these lenses, mounted them on a mirrorless digital camera, and went out and took some photos. What we're going to do is see how they did and then decide whether you should add these to your collection. None of them are going to be very expensive, and as I said, Samyang hit the market with a large number of camera mounts, so you'll be able to find just about whatever camera mount you need in one of these lenses. I started with the 28mm f2.8, and I believe Samyang copied the design for this lens from Sigma, which has a very similar lens with a close focus feature. This Samyang lens has a macro feature which allows you to get within just a few inches in focusing. It's really not a true macro, but you can focus closely on the subject, and it makes it nice for close focus wide angle shots. I like this lens, and it's easy to use and easy to find. The lenses are under a bunch of different brands, and they're very plentiful. Just look for the Made in Korea stamp on the lens, and you can be pretty sure it was manufactured by Samyang. The 135 f2.8 is a lens design that most all optical manufacturers offer. I once read that nobody makes a bad 135 f2.8 because they are evidently easy to design and easy to build. The The 135 millimeter length makes it a portrait lens, and as its name implies, it's great for people and pets, working with faces. The lens is sharp and provides good crisp images and good bokeh or blurring in the background, just what you would need in a portrait lens. Again, these are very plentiful lenses, and you won't have to look hard to find one. The zoom lens I'm looking at in this video is the 80-200 f3.9. I see this lens mostly marketed under the Albanar brand with various names under the Albanar brand, including Albanar, Super Albanar, Albanar ADG, and I think they're all pretty much the same. This lens competed with the ubiquitous 70-80 to 200 to 210 zoom lens market. Almost all manufacturers offer this. And I've kind of had mixed results with this lens. Some copies I've gotten are very sharp and some are just very soft. It's kind of hit and miss. Fortunately, though, you won't have to pay much for this because there's so many of them and everyone offers one. You shouldn't have to pay more than $15 for one of these lenses. And again, you won't have to look long. Just look for the Made in Korea mark on it and you'll be sure you're getting a Samyang lens. Finally, I used the T-mount 500 millimeter f8 mirror lens. And this lens hit the market for the long telephoto mirror lens. Doesn't have any aperture settings. It's always at f8. And this lens performs a lot like most 500 millimeter mirror lenses. It's a little soft, doesn't have good color rendition, and I think that's just a product of the design of the lens. These are all offered, I think, in T-mount. All the ones I've seen come in a traditional threaded T-mount, so all you need to do is get a threaded adapter for your camera. Again, a little soft, but that's kind of something you see with all mirrorless lenses. Not as good as a traditional lens design. So there you have it. A couple of lenses offered by Samyang. I think that they're pretty good lenses for the price you'll pay, and I'm glad Samyang's still in business and working away, selling lenses across the globe, and it's good to see where they got their start. So if you're looking at eBay, thrift stores, garage sales, you'll no doubt run into these lenses, and if you don't have to pay too much for them, I'd say add them to your collection and try using them. They're fun and provide good results. Thanks for watching.